Hey guys, welcome back to Fowler's Free Time. Today we're in the kitchen and we're making crispy pork belly. The ingredients, as you will see, include ginger, soy sauce, and Chinese 5-spice powder, which are kind of cornerstones of Chinese cooking. So this is going to be my interpretation of Asian crispy pork belly. Okay, so now that you've seen what ingredients we're going to be using, let's start prepping them. And we're just going to rough chop our scallions. So there's our ginger. All right, so in here we're gonna add some soy sauce. Mirin. So I don't know about you guys, but something's missing. And I just remembered that we're gonna need garlic. We're gonna need about 4 large cloves, or in this case, I'm gonna use the whole head because it's a really small one. Okay, so now that we have our marinade made, we're gonna set that aside and we're gonna get our pork ready. So first thing that we wanna do is we're gonna flip pork over, so skin side down, and we are going to sprinkle liberally with that 5-spice blend. Don't ask me for measurements, I have no idea what I'm doing. That's a joke. Rub that 5-spice blend in. We only need it on the underside because the top side is actually going to have the marinade and any moisture wiped off eventually, and you're going to see that. And take our marinade and we're going to pour that on. You can give this a little rub, make sure it covers everything. And we're gonna actually flip it, make sure that it is skin side up. Again, it doesn't matter how much you really get on the skin because we're gonna be wiping the skin off, because in order to get a crispy pork skin, you need to have low moisture. I'm just kind of making sure that all surface area of the pork has at least some contact with this marinade. It would be best to marinate this overnight. I have spent way too much time trying to set up this video, so I'm only gonna get 4 hours. All right, time to put a little layer of plastic wrap on this and leave it in the fridge. See you later. All right, so our pork belly has been marinating for 6 hours. We're gonna do 5 things right now. We're going to transfer it to a cutting board. We're going to wipe the skin clean. We're going to score the skin. We are going to salt the skin. And we're going to put that into our baking pan, which we've now lined with foil, and put that in the oven, which is going to be preheated to about 300. Now we've got a properly scored pork skin. And the top is clear of seasonings. Don't worry about this seasoning, we're not going to be reusing it. The temptation is going to be strong to put this in the pan, but don't do it, it's only going to burn. what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple pieces of foil and we're going to make a long ribbon because we're going to frame around the pork belly to keep the salt on top. That way it doesn't spill over to the sides and get the underside too salty. Okay, that actually worked out pretty good. So as you can see, we've kind of created this foil barrier around our pork belly, and that is going to keep the salt on the skin. So now we're just gonna dump the salt in and put it in the oven. We've got a layer of this salt that's going to dry out the skin, and in the second half where we turn up the temperature, it's going to actually start getting crispy because it's not steaming. There's going to be less moisture in the skin. Let's see what this pork belly looks like. First half is done. What you can see is that this, look at this. That is just a layer of salt that just pops right off. So we don't have a heavy layer of salt on the actual skin itself anymore. We're going to remove this foil shrouding, and we're going to crank the oven up to 375 now, and then we're going to put this back in for about 45 minutes. Okay, one more close up before it goes in. And let's go ahead and put this back in the oven for 45 minutes. When that comes out, the skin is going to be crispy. Okay guys, I just pulled this out of the oven, and as you can see, we have crispy skin. We have a little bit of burn on the sides, but that's okay. Also, remember what I told you about the marinade? If you leave marinade in the pan, it's going to burn. That's normal. Don't worry about it. You're not trying to make gravy out of this. Oh, this is looking so good. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. It is almost cool to the touch, and I'm going to transfer it to a cutting board now, and I'm going to cut it into cubes. When you're cutting crispy pork belly, if you want to keep the skin as intact as possible, put it skin side down on the cutting board and then make your cuts. That way you're not destroying the skin as you're either sawing through the meat or hopefully cleaving through it cleanly. Make sure you have a good sharp knife, and that will definitely help. Okay, here we go. So here is our crispy pork belly. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but trust me, it's crispy. So we're actually going to take this and we're going to flip it over, and then we're going to cut. This piece probably exemplifies what we're talking about. So we've got crispy skin, and we've got cooked the whole way through, and we're just going to cut each piece into two like that, and yeah. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what it's all about. Crispy pork. I think the only way you're going to appreciate it is if you hear it. Sorry. It's pretty crash, but you get the idea. So until next time, be awesome, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time on Fowler's Free Time.